Good morning, everyone. And it is really a good morning, isn't it? Could we have had a better day? The weather is perfect. Great gardening weather and harvesting weather. As you can see behind us, our garden has really progressed over the season. And I'm delighted to be here again to talk to you about that and to talk about the issue of hunger here in the Commonwealth. I'm State Senator Judy Schwank, and I'm minority chair of the Senate Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee, and I'm also a member of the Legislative Hunger Caucus, and have been really since I came to Harrisburg a few years ago. And it's great to be with you to acknowledge the beginning of Hunger Action Month. Today's the first day of September, right? And so it's a time we should recommit ourselves to ending food insecurity in the Commonwealth. Our shared goal is to ensure that no Pennsylvanian goes without the foods they need to live a healthy life. And this is something that I believe that is within our reach. And I know that the people that are here with me today, from the master gardeners to the individuals on the associated with the food bank, and the folks in the Department of Agriculture and Human Services believe that as well. And they've been working hard, not just since we planted this garden, but most importantly, in the past year, to really address food insecurity in the Commonwealth. You know, like many of you, I can go to the store, right? And I can buy what I want. I can go into a cupboard at home, and that food is there. And it's not the experience that I have, and that I struggle really to try to understand how it must feel for a mother who avoids having a meal herself so that her children can eat, or is trying to stretch food dollars that are so limited to be able to ensure that her entire family has the food that they need. These are experiences that too many folks in our Commonwealth are facing. And that's why it's so important for us to stay on top of the issue and continually address it. And today, of course, at the start of Hunger Action Month, is certainly the time to do that. It's an issue that impacts communities throughout Pennsylvania, and it's indiscriminate. Seniors, college students, young families, and everyone in between can experience food insecurity. Our Department of Agriculture and the Department of Health and Human Services, who are with us here today, work together to ensure we're supporting food insecure Pennsylvanians with initiatives like the Senior Food Box Program, which puts food in the hands of low-income individuals over 60 at no charge, and the State Food Purchase Program, which provides grants to counties for food distribution. Those are just two programs, along with many federal resources that these agencies administer that help people in need. But we know more work needs to be done, and we've certainly learned it in the past few months, really year, as we've looked at the impact of inflation on everybody's food dollars, but particularly the folks we're talking about today. And we know, and I think we've learned, by building out the infrastructure for our food system, that we've really been able to make a difference, providing cold storage, freezers, so that we can have milk, dairy products, meats, cheeses, fresh fruits and vegetables, so that the folks that we serve can have a very nutritious food resource for them. It also starts by continuing to support the food banks, like Feeding Pennsylvania, and soup kitchens like Downtown Daily Bread, folks that are here with us today, that work really hard to put food in the hands of the people that need it the most. They're on the front lines, so to speak, in the fight against insecurity, and anyone who's seen it up close knows what a big impact they're making on people's lives. Just yesterday, Helping Harvest, which is the food bank that serves my county, my district, Berks County, as well as Schuylkill County, had an open house. And I was able to go over there and see the work that they're doing and the work that they're planning on doing in the future. And it was amazing to me. They run a commercial warehouse, quite literally, with all the technology that you might see in an Amazon warehouse or a giant warehouse, in terms of making sure that the right food gets to the right places, and that collections that are brought in, or purchases for the most part, it's purchases now of food, are distributed to the right people, the right places. That's why, in addition, because of this work and the interest that the Wolf administration has taken in food insecurity, the governor, as well as the General Assembly, announced over $11 million was being invested in cold storage infrastructure at food banks serving all 67 counties in the Commonwealth. Cold storage allows food banks, as I said before, to store fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, and other perishable items that are crucial components of a healthy diet. This is one step that we've taken recently, and one that I think really is a big step in terms of making sure that we give people the food that they need, and in a dignified way, so that it's food that they would choose themselves, and it is food that they choose to eat. We all want to eat more healthily, and that includes everyone, all of us. So that cold storage that I happened to see yesterday at Helping Harvest, we saw dairy products. Jay Worrell, who's the director of the food bank, talked to us about the fact that they are getting huge, big blocks of cheese or 40-pound beef roasts that need to be broken down. So some of the steps that they're taking is to develop a community kitchen so that they can help process those large quantity of foods and make sure that they access more things, more foods that will actually serve the people that need it. There's still a lot of work to do. Again, I want to commend our Secretary of Agriculture, Russ Redding, and of course the Department of Health and Human Services for the work that they do in coordinating, making sure that we're helping the folks that need food the most. Everyone here I know today is willing to do everything they can to help make sure that food insecurity is something that is not so common in our Commonwealth. And now I would like to welcome to the podium the Department of Human Services Deputy Secretary of the Office of Income Maintenance, Inez Titus. Secretary?
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Inez Titus, and I serve as the Deputy Secretary in the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. Helping Pennsylvanians meet our most essential everyday needs is core to DHS's work, and Hunger Action Month is an opportunity to shed light on the reality that too many people face and experience every day. DHS administers programs that help keep Pennsylvanians meet these essential needs, like being able to purchase food so that they can stay healthy and have the quality of life that we all deserve. One of the programs is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, otherwise known as SNAP. We believe that every Pennsylvanian deserves the dignity and security of knowing they can afford their next meal, and we want people to know that if they need help, we're here to help them. SNAP helps families put fresh, healthy foods on their tables. Funded entirely by federal funds, SNAP helps Pennsylvanians by providing money each month to use exclusively for food. This not only helps households have resources to purchase the food, but it also supports local grocers, food producers, and small businesses. SNAP also can be used for online grocery delivery and pickup orders through certain retailers. Vendors at farmers markets across the state can request equipment to process SNAP cards at no cost to them, an opportunity to connect more Pennsylvanians to small businesses and growers and bring locally grown, nutritious produce and other foods to our communities. SNAP also complements the work of our charitable food organizations by offsetting the number of people who must rely on food banks and pantries. For every meal provided by a Feeding Pennsylvania food bank, SNAP provides 9. Living, working, and caring for our families during the pandemic and prolonged economic instability has been incredibly difficult. And we know for so many that difficulty continues. One of the best things we can take from these experiences is to continue to look after one another. Pennsylvanians can apply for SNAP online at dhs.pa.gov/compass, or can apply in person or by mail at a county assistance office. If you or someone you know is struggling with food insecurity, we encourage you to apply. Please remember to support available through our food banks and public assistance networks, and please share these resources if they can help a friend, a family member, or a neighbor. Thank you to our partners in the Wolf administration and the Charitable Food Network again for all you do every day to help fight hunger and help Pennsylvanians at all ages in all communities. Now, I'd like to introduce Feeding Pennsylvania Chief Executive Officer Jane Clements.
Thank you. I'm Jane Clements. I'm the CEO of Feeding Pennsylvania. We're the State Association of Feeding America Food Banks, and I'm joined here today by one of our members, the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank, Joe Arthur and Ryan. And our network works every single day to address food insecurity in Pennsylvania. And while food banks and the charitable food system do that every day, each September, people all over the United States stand together with the Feeding America Network to drive awareness and inspire action to help end hunger in America, both on a national scale and on the ground here in our local communities. We know that hunger exists in every district, in every county across the state of Pennsylvania. And as you heard the senator say, economic instability has impacted us all, causing supply chain issues and a soaring inflation rate that is the highest it's been in 40 years. Neighbors who have already been working to overcome the hardships brought on by the effects of the pandemic are now faced with a 10% increase for buying groceries for their families. And when difficult times hit, food can be the first thing families forego to make ends meet. And because of this, millions of Pennsylvanians are making the difficult choice between food and other critical needs, such as utilities, medicine, and even childcare. Feeding Pennsylvania food banks have made extraordinary efforts to access and distribute food to impacted populations. We work with so many farmers across Pennsylvania. We're proud to be the state contractor for the Pennsylvania Ag Surplus System program, and we're grateful to the General Assembly for the investment in cold storage so that we can do more of that. But honestly, we're facing operational challenges too. Costs are increasing, and the need remains so great that we still need the help of our communities and food assistance programs across the state. With the strife to both our food banks and Pennsylvanians facing hunger, there is no better time to get involved. We're thrilled to join the Wolf administration, the Governor's Food Security Partnership, and legislators on both the state and federal level to participate in Hunger Action Month this month. We invite individuals across the state to join us, help raise awareness and funds to ensure that no one in Pennsylvania goes without nutritious food. Donate, volunteer, post on social media, and have that conversation around the dinner table. This issue is just far too important to be ignored. We couldn't do the work we do without the more than 3,000 agencies we work with across the Commonwealth to distribute food, and it is my honor to introduce one of those agencies, Ann Gwennon, the Executive Director of Downtown Daily Bread.
Thank you for the invitation to speak here today at the start of Hunger Action Month. My name is Ann Gwennon, and I'm the Executive Director of Downtown Daily Bread, which is located right down the hill from this garden and across the street. Downtown Daily Bread operates a year-round walk-in soup kitchen, open to all people in need of a free meal. It is the only food assistant program in the community that serves 2 meals a day, provides an indoor sit-down dining room, and offers second servings. No ID or proof of income or residency is required. Downtown Daily Bread believes that no one should go hungry or without shelter. We are a gateway to basic human services for hundreds of homeless and hungry individuals. In addition to our soup kitchen, we offer a day shelter, a winter night shelter, and numerous personal assistance programs, including showers, mail delivery, and counseling. The soup kitchen has been in operation for almost 40 years. Lunch is offered daily, and breakfast is provided on weekday mornings. On an average day, 100 to 120 people eat there. In 2021, the Soup Kitchen fed more than 26,000 people. So far this year, attendance is up 16%. If this rate continues, we project serving more than 30,000 people by the end of the year. Based on the current economy, we anticipate that usage will continue to rise in 2023. In Harrisburg, there are thousands of people who live in poverty and experience food insecurity. According to the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank, food insecurity is defined as a lack of consistent access to enough food for every person in a household to live an active, healthy life. This can be temporary or can last a long time. Unfortunately, many people in America struggle to meet their basic needs, which increases their risk of food insecurity. Layoffs at work, unexpected expenses, or personal emergencies can suddenly force a family to choose between buying food and paying bills. We partner with the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank as a source of food and advice. We also receive donations from local businesses and many, many generous individuals. We are grateful to be the recipient of vegetables grown in the Capital Hunger Garden, which is tended to and harvested by so many wonderful master gardeners and volunteers. Our summer menus are overflowing with salads and steamed and roasted vegetables. This garden is a witness to collaboration and generous individuals giving to those who are so in need, and Downtown Daily Bread is so grateful. I would like to now introduce the Secretary of Agriculture, Russell Redding.
Great. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Hey, good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here, to our partners in so many ways, in government, in the legislature, across the street, all who are focused on this need for addressing the hunger and insecurity, food insecurity in our community. Thank you. Every time I'm at an event where we talk about hunger and food, I realize how lucky I am, right? And how lucky most of us are, as Senator Schwank had noted. I think we are incredibly blessed, right, to be in a place where our daily worry is not about trying to find enough food. Right? But we know for sure, and COVID revealed this in so many ways, that there are a lot of folks, thousands, millions across both this state and nation, that are in pursuit of the most basic of needs every day. So we stand here humble, right, for what we have access to, for the work that's done every day. But we're also thankful for the folks who are on the front lines and make this happen every day. I want to say thank you to Penn State and the Master Gardeners, and Catherine, thank you. We've said this a couple of times, but I know Carol is here, and Bob, and folks who have shovels in their hand and they're digging these potatoes. Thank you. Right, this is a beautiful garden and a good reminder, right, that hunger is around us. It comes in all forms. It is in cities and rural areas. It does not discriminate. Right? And we need to be aware wherever we are that there are folks around us who need the food. So Hunger Action Month is really an important reminder to all of us. So thank you all for what you do, and it's always good to be with folks who share that mission of food and food security. But we also know, the work that we do in the Department of Agriculture and in the industry of ag, it's at the very core, it's the very essence of our being. It is about feeding people, and is making sure that those who, everybody has food, and those who don't or can't afford it, that they still have that access. But it's also part of the culture of agriculture, is to produce and produce good food. I'm really proud of the work that we do, particularly the Department of Agriculture, in partnership with our federal partners and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and to have Karen Long-Earl, who spends every day worrying about this task. Thank you, Karen, for that work as well. But hunger is everywhere, and it may be invisible to us, right? I think that's the most challenging. It's not like someone's wearing a sign saying, "I'm hungry." It's not, it's around us. It's ever present. And I think that's a piece just for awareness of all of us, is that we tackle this issue every day. We focus on it in the month of September as Hunger Action Month, but we also know it is all around us. It's hard to recognize the face of hunger, right? It could be a child, it could be a grandparent, a college student, but they are all around us. Over the course of the last 8 years, I'm particularly proud of the partnership that the Wolf administration and the governor personally has led on hunger and food security. I have said it many times that we shouldn't be surprised, right, that this governor has focused so intently on food security given his work in the Peace Corps as a Peace Corps volunteer, right? He has seen the power of food to change lives. And doing that in India as he did, but also carrying that into his public service, I'm always grateful for someone who sees the bigger needs and larger issues and the intersection of some of the most challenging issues. Social issues are also at the very core of that, is making sure that folks have access to food and nutrition. You have to solve the issue of food access before you can solve many of the other issues. But over the course of the 8 years, we've invested an additional $80 million into food and food assistance. It comes in many forms, and you've heard this morning that obviously would not happen without the support of Senator Vogel and Senator Schwank and our friends in the House and Senate, but particularly making sure that our budgets are focused on food nutrition, but in many forms. It is the SNAP program, it is the work in the WIC Farmers Market Nutrition programs, it's our staples of state food purchase program. They're the program elements, but behind every program there's a person, right? There are people, and ultimately it's about feeding those people in our community. One program I'm particularly pleased and happy with is the PASS program, right? The Pennsylvania Agricultural Surplus Program. First year funded was when the governor came back, and just to see it grow and to now know that we have contributed, the farm community, agriculturalists, and food processors, 23 million pounds of food have been donated to our food assistance program across Pennsylvania. And in every one of those transactions, that is about a farmer and their family making a decision to contribute surplus products into the food assistance program. Very proud of that, and I think all of us, as we think about the charitable spirit of our agricultural community, are reminded that in the PASS program that is possible. But it doesn't take just the farm, it takes the garden, right? It is what you produce here and you dig out of it, you package, all of that, as Ann noted, for her is really critical. Food nutrition every day makes a big difference. So on this day, as we launch Hunger Action Month, what is the action? Right? Let's take the action. It's not just Awareness Month. It's about action. Volunteering, it's rounding up at the grocery store to make the difference, right? It's going into the gardens and pulling the weeds and doing the difficult work. It's buying the seeds for next year's garden. All of that is part of what we talk about and acknowledge here in this month of Hunger Action Month. But we're also reminded that you cannot have a charitable food system without a food system that's charitable, right? It's really impossible. So that is the connection, that those who need the food are assisted by those who have it. That's in our food banks, it's in our farms and gardens, it's in our pantries and cupboards, it's in the churches and all the places in between, to make sure that that invisible becomes visible, that we make sure that we share the bounty of this land and agriculture. That is what we're celebrating, in part the bounty, but also the reminder that among us are those who are at risk of hunger. So let's do what we can. Let's talk about it, let's fund it, let's support it, and be champions for that cause. So thank you. Thanks for being here, and thanks to all who make this possible. Thank you. Good. Questions, comments? What did we miss? Karen? I mean, I look around for folks, and Jane and others, but if not, thank you. Again, thanks to the Master Gardeners, thanks to the beautiful garden, and to our legislative leaders in the Hunger Caucus. I appreciate very much what you do. Have a great day. Thank you.
Hopefully you only hear that in a garden. Alright. Feeling
Yeah.
I say to myself, you know, animals know things that we don't.
Yeah.
And if they're not eating the skin, maybe I shouldn't be eating the skin. So, my wife and I, we feel as it should be. The sooner it's better.
Kicker.
First lady coming here, or?
And Inez Titus from DHS. Okay, nice to meet you also.
Ago. And it's great to be with you to acknowledge the beginning of Hunger Action Month. Today's the first day of September, right? And so it's a time we should recommit and secure Pennsylvanians with initiatives like the Senior Food Box Program, which puts food in the hands of low-income individuals over 60 at no charge. And the state food purchase
Essential everyday needs is core to DHS's work. And Hunger Action Month is an opportunity to shed light on the reality that too many people face and experience every day.
And while food banks in the charitable food system do that every day, each September, people all over the United States stand together with the Feeding America Network to drive awareness and inspire action
Across the street. Downtown Daily Bread operates a year-round walk-in soup kitchen, open to all people in need of a free meal. It is the only food assistance program in the community that serves 2 meals.
All who are focused on this need for addressing hunger and insecurity, food insecurity in our community. Thank you. Every time I'm at an event where we talk about hunger and food,
yeah.